Well, happy Sunday night and welcome to another edition of the Park Adventurers Club. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. We're going to be talking about 2025, a year in review at the theme park. So buckle up, share your stories in the comments. We would love to have you guys in the chat and subscribe to this channel, this adventure. If you have not already, it's the Park Adventurers Club. Subscribe now. Also give this video a like as it helps people to find us. Now, before we get started, I do want to say just a huge thank you to everyone for 2025. That's when we started this thing. The Park Adventurers Club is just about to turn 9 months old, and we would love to get some more people in the funnel, add some more friends to our adventure. So if you have not subscribed already, please do that. We're near a 1,500 milestone. We're very excited about that. We've got lots of content on this channel, much more on the way. I was so happy when we started this adventure together that so many friends came on board and hung out, and we've got a couple more of them here tonight if I can find them in my screen here. So hang on, buckle up. I swear there are other people here. It's not just me. Why? Where did you go? Where did you guys go? There it is. Here it is. Hang on. It's Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Rob. Merry Christmas.
And then it's Annie from Adventures with Annie. What's going on?
Oh.
Adventuring. It is adventuring, isn't it?
Yes.
I will be very clear on that from now on. Adventuring with Annie. We've been adventuring for a long time, Annie. This is actually, you are like part of like the catalyst of what happened when we started this thing, because you and I in 2025 walked in. We were some of the first non-TMs to walk into Epic Universe, which is of course going to be a big topic tonight. And we walked in there day one before any other guests had been in, and we got to have a great time and walk around and get excited about it. And that's kind of what started all this, right?
Thinking about it. I'm getting all excited thinking about it, Rob. That was such a moment.
It really was. I mean, 2025, when we were going into it, I think last year we gave it sort of a kind of a meh on the Disney side of it. And I know, Stephanie, you just did a show with us where we were talking about 2026, and you gave it a C+, 2026. Do you remember what you said about 2025? Did you feel like you gave it a big number going in?
I think it was maybe a B, something like that.
I think that was a little aggressive for Disney parks, but however, so what we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be talking about the 2025 theme park rewind. We run this thing like a meeting because this is a meeting of the Park Adventurers Club, and we have an agenda. So normally we have the reading of the minutes, which is the top 5 stories from the past week, but I'm motion to dismiss this week, Stephanie.
Oh, motion. I motion.
Motion passed. Okay. New business is what we're going to talk about. We're going to spend the whole time talking about 2025 theme park year in review, and at the end we will give you a look at what's coming up for us at the Park Adventurers Club as well. So thank you guys for being here with me tonight, with us tonight. We appreciate it, and so let's get into this conversation, because I can't think that there's a better place to start about 2025. And first of all, it was a big year across the board in theme parks. We're not going to just talk about Disney, but it was a big year across the board with announcements and sadly closings and some openings and some new things. But I think that the biggest thing that happened in 2025, Annie, I'm going to let you start on this one, is there was a brand new, for the first time in forever, Orlando theme park with the opening of Epic Universe, and you were there and you go all the time. This has to be the biggest thing of 2025, right?
I think so. You were there. It was great. Yeah, definitely the biggest thing, the thing everybody's talking about, at least for 2025. And I mean, how long has it been since we've had a park in Orlando, like a new park? We get new rides, new lands, but a new park. I mean,
it would have been Animal Kingdom, right, in 1998, or was?
I mean, I think Volcano Bay, if you count Volcano Bay, right? But otherwise, yeah, I don't count Volcano Bay. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I think we have a long-standing policy on this channel of not counting Volcano Bay as Universal would like it to be as one of the main theme parks in Florida. It's a water park because, again, if you say Universal has 4, you got to say Disney has 6. Sorry, that's just how
Right.
that goes. Stephanie, I don't know that I knew I would have been as many times as I have to Epic by this point, but you took your whole crew there, and this was a big deal for you, right? I think going into it, most people said, "Is Disney ready for this? Is it going to be a Disney killer?" I'm not sure it's that, but it's pretty awesome.
No, I don't think it'll ever completely eradicate Disney, kill Disney, because you have the nostalgia factor. You have people that grew up with Walt still around, your grandparents and parents. And so, of course, the castle parks around the world are iconic. Take your drink. But
Yeah.
I do think that Epic really gave them a run for their money, for sure. And it's going to get better. It's just getting better because they're already planning additions to this wonderful theme park. And I'm telling you, it's not just an amusement park, it's a theme park, and Epic is wonderful when it comes to theming. And it's not maybe the central hub. It could, the Celestial Park, you can do a little bit more for that. They can add some stuff to that. But once you enter those portals, the portals themselves are just awesome, Annie. Like, they just are. And then once you get into the portal, you're like, I don't want to leave. I just want to walk around Darkmoor for hours and hours.
Yeah. And so for those of you who don't know, and maybe perhaps we haven't talked about Epic enough, although I feel like leading into it, we talked about it ad nauseum. It didn't actually open until May of last year, or this year, 2025. It opened up in May, but the preview started in March. And so we got to go in. Not only did I not think I would go in, until like the first couple months after it opened, but I had no idea that I'd be able to go in, in March of all times, and it was ready to go. I mean, Annie, we talk about, and I'm sure you've talked about it before as well, as like Disney projects sometimes, they fall behind, but they pointed to the fences and said, hey, this thing's going to be open May 22nd, and they fulfilled that. Even if Potter was not quite ready to go, the rest of the park was amazing, and they kind of made up for that, right?
Yeah, I think when you and I went, I feel like that park, even though it wasn't finished, it almost was at like its peak at that point. I don't know, just everything felt so fresh and new. And like you said, first time in a long time. I saw somebody in the chat said IOA 99. So, right?
Okay,
So
there you
maybe I
go.
think that might have been the last park.
Yeah.
But, everything's so fresh and so new. And when we went, I think what made it more special when we went was that we couldn't take photos or video, because as like a content creator, all I do with everything is stare at it through a screen, trying to get the perfect shot. And to be like, you do not touch your phone, you do not look at the phone. I mean, I think that was one of the best things for me. I was like, I want to take pictures, but to look at everything with my eyes and really take it in was just like I think that was the best part, was that I couldn't create any content.
You say that was the best part. It was murder for me, because I mean, I went to Panera tonight and took a picture of my dinner. Like, I can't not. You think I'm joking? I can produce the picture. I can't not take pictures of things, and so I think it was Annie and everyone else in our group that yelled at me because I took a picture of the right when we pulled up to the gate. I knew we weren't supposed to take pictures, but right when we pulled up to we were sitting outside of the parking toll booth, and I took a picture of that, and they're like, "Do not get us kicked out of here." I'm like, "We're not even in," and it's like, "Nope, you can't do it. You can't take those pictures," and so. Yeah, it was hard for me not to do that, but I get what you're saying. It's we get distracted by so many things when we're in the park that it's hard to, like, especially Disney, where you have to be in the My Disney experience, setting up your next lightning lane, setting up your next. Stephanie's like, oh my God, she's like, I don't remember the last time I looked up at Disney. I've always been looking up, like, how do I get my family into this next thing? But because of that, you don't really get those opportunities to just sit back and enjoy it. And that was the thing. And not only did we get to enjoy it because we didn't have any assignment of taking pictures or capturing the moment, but also, we enjoyed it because everything was new. I mean, everything was brand freaking new. So there, again, if you don't know, there's Celestial Park is where you go when you walk in the park. You've got 4 other lands. You've got the Super Nintendo World. You've got Darkmoor, the Dark Universe. You've got the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then you've also got Burke, which I think me personally, I love the vibe of Burke. Now, say what you want about Monsters being the best attraction or Potter being the best attraction. The vibe of Burke is my favorite. Stephanie, what's your favorite land? It sounds like it's Darkmoor.
It's so hard. It's so hard to take. I was gonna say Burke, but now since you took Buck, I'll take Darkmoor. That's fine. So
Since I took yours, and Annie, you've been there more than most, like easily all of the two of us combined. But like, how many? What's your favorite?
That's really tough because I think I've changed my mind so many times. The only one I would say I don't like is Super Nintendo World. If I have to like eliminate one,
Really?
I know. Originally it was Burke, and then I also like Dark Universe, and then somebody said that Dark Universe should have been built like kind of like inside a box. And I started thinking, you know what? It could have been really themey and dark all the time instead of the Florida sun. So then I think the other night, I was there the other night and it was really quiet in the Wizarding World. And I thought this felt like the land that felt like the most like secluded from everything else. So I don't know. I've kind of like changed my mind so many times. But the other night I was like, I think the Wizarding World might be my favorite land, like visually, even though I don't really care for the Potter ride personally. So I don't know. I've got everything but Super Nintendo World is my vote. I don't have a favorite.
I was about to say, how could you not like the Potter ride? The Potter ride's kind of freaking amazing.
I like Monsters. Monsters is great. I like Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Those are the two best. And then Stardust would be. But I don't really care for the Potter ride. It didn't impress me as much as they hyped it up that it was going to be this advanced technology or something. And I feel like it's just Star Tours but moves around. I don't know.
Just Star Tours,
It
but
gives
moves
me
around.
I don't like the seats feel like you're in Star Tours for some reason. I don't know. It just feels like Star Tours that moves. I don't know. That's just the vibe I get.
Gotcha.
I don't care
Okay.
for it. I would not waste my time on the Potter ride personally.
Wow. Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
Which is
Um,
but maybe
uh,
maybe the
yeah.
expansion could be better, but that one's not doing it for me.
But you have to admit that the full size Ministry of Magic, like going into the queue
Oh, the
itself,
queue?
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
just the queue.
Fast and Furious has a great queue and a terrible ride. So I mean, sometimes Universal does that. We got a great queue and a terrible ride. It's not
Wow.
terrible, but
I've only ridden Potter once because it wasn't working when I went the first time with Annie, and then we walked the queue and I was blown away. And then after that, it was like, okay, I can't wait to get back. We went back and rode it, and I thought it was great. It happened so fast. I've only ridden it once. It happened so fast I really couldn't like wrap my head around it. Annie and I did a show on this channel where we ranked all of the attractions together, and I think we had Potter and Monsters near the top. I wonder, Annie, if the reason you didn't love Nintendo as much is we've seen it. We lived it. We went out and saw it in California. It existed. These other three lands exist nowhere else.
yes, I think that is part of the reason. I also, for me, the going up and then feeling like you immediately have to go down. The way how Donkey Kong is kind of in the back, I'm kind of like, I don't like this setup of ours. So, and then the other night I went and like nothing works. So it was really
Really?
rough.
All the interactive stuff?
Yeah, like two of the games were broken. A lot of the things that move were not moving. It was in bad shape. And
Wow.
it may have just been the end of the day and it all kind of died out. It may have been great at one point, but it was looking a little rough. So
That's a shame. That is. This is one of the reasons I like to go early into an attraction or something, either that they figure out once people can test it and live in it that it doesn't work, or people just break it. So either way, it's one of the reasons it's nice to go early and be able to see it when it's new and pristine and everything is golden. Now, keep in mind, there was still some stuff that wasn't open, like the Harry Potter ride when Annie and I went in, but most of the stuff was ready to go 2 months early, and then they just stress test the heck out of it with ordering systems and everything else. And I think they were very mindful about the park they put together. Before we get off of this topic of Epic, and we could talk about Epic all night long, the three of us I know could. I want to ask Stephanie one more thing. So you said at the top you didn't think that it really that it would never really affect Disney. Do you think it had any effect on Disney in the way they wanted it to, which is people would come for Epic and stay for Disney?
I think maybe people still come for Disney and then go over to Epic for a few days. I don't think it's quite enough to say, okay, let's do a full week at Universal just yet, because I know that's what they want. They want to be the full week park. You know, they want you to do Universal Studios for a couple of days and Islands of Adventure for a couple of days. But honestly, if you get their Express Pass, you can do both of those parks with the Hogwarts train in between pretty much all in one day. So I do think that they need to expand Epic a little bit more, you know, go ahead and let the annual pass holders have their days and stuff like that.
Yep.
That I know they didn't get that this year, so maybe next year they're going to be able to do that. So, but yeah, I think that they'll get there eventually. I think Universal plays the long game and Disney plays the short game.
Gotcha. Well, we're going to move on, but before we do, we have a super chat. It's from our friend Jungle Cruiser, and it says, Rob, please add these two events to the list. Yesterday at Disneyland, we had 4 trains running. At a first at Disneyland. So there's a 2025 for you. Also at the flag retreat ceremony, we had a member of every military branch. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Jungle Cruiser. And thank you for the super chat as well. Jungle Cruiser keeps us updated on a lot of the goings-ons that happen out in Disneyland. Because again, one of the things that Jungle Cruiser told us about before was that all of the, that a bunch of the ticket booths were coming down, which seemed like blasphemy that you would even take those things down. But I mean, I'm sure they weren't ticket booths for when Walt was there, but they've been there a while. So I mean, it'd be nice to. It's a shame that happens, but as the world evolves, I have an antique phone in my house on the wall, and I had this long conversation with a maintenance person that came into my house that didn't understand that was a phone. It was one of the old like Andy Griffith show, like hold it up and this kind of a thing. He's like, that's a phone? In what world is that a phone? How does that a phone? And it's just talking about the evolution of like what a phone has been over time, right? As a phone was that, and you needed an operator, and then they had the phone booths, the full ones with Superman changing in them, and then you had the half ones, and now we don't really use phone booths anymore, and we have cell phones, and then everybody's like, miss me with a call. Why don't you text me if you need something? So I knowing that things like that have to leave, I guess, is just part of evolution, but it does seem a shame when something like that goes away. But again, Jungle Cruiser, thank you for the information and for the super chat. We appreciate you. Let's move on to the other thing about Universal. While we're talking about Universal, they made a ton of announcements, including the fact that they're getting a UK park. They were like, yeah, we got this park opening up in May, but let me tell you, we're already working on one in the UK. But then also, here's a lot of concept art for the kids park that we're going to open in 2026 in Texas. But then also, buckle up, because we're going to open up the Halloween Horror Nights, Horror Unleashed in in Vegas. And it's just like, and then Disney's like, well, we're going to make a bar. So I mean, that was kind of one of those things. But just to wrap up the Universal thing, out of all these announcements, Annie, what is the one outside of obviously Epic that you think is kind of like the next big thing that happened in 2025 for Universal, or did I miss something else?
That's a really tough question. Like, I think
that's why I'm here. I ask the tough questions, Annie. This you got to get used to it.
Oh man, I wasn't prepared for this. I don't know. I think that they're doing some stuff over at the other parks. Finally, might be like Rocket coming down. That one I think that's kind of what stands out in my head as being the big thing this year. Like, okay, Rip Ride Rockets come down. What's gonna happen there?
Okay. Well, I mean, you're right, and I didn't even have that on my list that Rocket was going down, because I'm so concerned about what they're doing down the street with shutting down everything, and we're going to talk about that in a second, that I really wasn't thinking about Rocket.
Nobody cares about Rocket. That I tried to be the voice of Rocket because 2025 was going to go out without anyone caring. That's why I'm like, All right.
That's why we're doing this, Annie, and that's why you needed to be here. Is you needed to be able to make sure we don't miss the important stuff like that. Wait,
I
hold on
got
a
the
second.
guitar pick.
Oh, from
This is
here.
the-
Let me close in again.
This is the guitar pick from the closing day of Rocket.
Aw.
You had to ride to get it. I didn't want to ride. I actually was going to just go up and lie and be like, I'm pregnant. I can't ride. Can I have one?
Wow.
But I convinced somebody else to ride for me. So they rode and got it. Well, thank you, Jake. I didn't have to lie.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think you
Thanks,
needed to.
Rocket. I'll never forget you.
I'll never forget you. I don't want to ride that roller coaster, but I hate that it's gone. That's an interesting take on that whole thing. What about you, Stephanie? Anything out of all the Universal announcements? You can throw Rocket in there if that's one of them, but what is the one that stands out for you?
Never.
I'm betting it's the kids park.
Never rode it. Never rode Rocket. I'm fine with it going. Yes, I think that it's a very strategic move for them to go to Texas and to Frisco in particular, because it's a big family town. I mean, they've got the Frisco Rough Riders. They've got a lot. Dude Perfect is over there. If you follow them, millions of people follow them. So yeah, I think that it's a very strategic move. And of course, they're competing with Six Flags, which does not have a lot of kids, small
IP.
rides. It's mainly, kids IP. Well, I mean, it has Bugs Bunny and that kind of, the Looney Tunes. But yeah, it's the rides are just basically carnival rides at Six Flags. And then you have a bunch of roller coasters. So for them, this is a great idea. And I'm particularly excited because I'm going to be close to that and we'll probably be able to go frequently. So, that's better than a plane ride for us. And that's wonderful. But I do think that Universal, like I'm saying, plays the long game. They've got, the park over in England that they're doing. And I think that's a great, Harry Potter is huge. Harry Potter's huge everywhere, but especially there. So of course, why not put a park over there?
Well, and we don't know everything that's coming there, but like it could be Bond, it could be Lord of the Rings, it could be a bunch of things that they have a different opportunity over there because of rights, because of the culture, because of whatever that they can do that can be amazing. And so, but you've also got like this, there's the purchase of Warner Brothers was something like they wanted, like that's going to shake up the industry a little bit when Warner Brothers gets purchased and everybody's fighting for that IP to be in their park. So, I think that Epic obviously was the biggest thing, but I do think that the UK announcement was pretty big. And the fact that we could just look down the road, and we've talked about that on the show, with all the things that they've got lined up. And it's not just like we know Disney has stuff coming 2027 and 20 and beyond, but Disney, like Epic's got, Epic opened in 2025. The Horror Unleashed opened 2025. We had an amazing, Halloween Horror Nights in between all that stuff. And then on top of that, you've got this kids park that's opening in 2026, and they're going to keep moving. So let's move our stuff, or like our conversation, over to Disneyland, because Disneyland this year, part of their big thing was they celebrated 70 years of Disneyland. And I've made this conversation, I brought this up before, is it was the weirdest thing because they started it in May. I don't know why. The anniversary wasn't actually until July, and then they're going until August of next year on it. But it was a great party. Like it's a good time. They're going to bring all that stuff back after the holidays, the Paint the Night, and some of the other, like the Celebrate Happy is the name of their overall theme, and they've got like a cavalcade that goes through. There's a lot of entertainment. There's a lot of merchandise. I think they did a better job in general than Disney did at Disney World for their 50th on the 70th. It's not even the 75th. It's the 70th. And there was a lot of activations with the key thing, which I showed off my key last time. And I know Jungle Cruiser was all about the key. But they did a great job with it. But one of the things that opened, and Annie, I'm sure you've seen this is the Walt animatronic. I don't know that I've ever asked you what you thought of the Walt animatronic, because there's one coming to Florida, but the one online, the one that opened in Disneyland brought up a lot of conversations online.
Yeah. I don't know what everyone else's opinion on it was, but mine was I don't like it. I just don't. I don't know if I think we needed a Walt animatronic personally. I think it's really hard to like capture like a real person, you know, and make everyone happy because I don't know. I think it's a little creepy, and I like animatronics though, so but I don't like this one.
You know what's really creepy is that Hagrid in the motorbike. Come on. That, you know what? That's the thing that Universal did great. I'm talking about Epic again. That was the thing they did great at Epic is like the animatronics in Monsters Unleashed and in the Harry Potter attraction are amazing, and they're next generation for for any park, but especially for what they're doing at Universal. But that one that Hagrid's in the barn out there, it's like why. No, but I've saw the Walt one in person, and I get it, and I was moved, and I love it, and seeing it in person I think is different than seeing the photos, because again the morning that it opened up, and I know friend Jungle Cruiser went like 14 times, but the morning that it opened up, the Twitter was blowing up with this looks like the My Pillow guy, and why couldn't you make it look like Walt? And when they first announced it at at D23. They brought in like Walt's nephew and was like, "Could you stand up and tell everybody it's okay that we're doing this?" And he stands up and he's like, "Yes, I'm excited for it." That's the only thing I've wondered back and forth is it the right thing to do? But I think as far as the animatronic goes, I think it's one you have to see in person. And of course, they made another announcement in 2025 that they're like, kind of like when Bob Iger announced Galaxy's Edge, he said, "We're not building just one of these, we're building two." And that's the same thing here. They're not just building one Walt. They're building a second one that's coming in a cardigan. He's going to open up Carousel of Progress. Overall thoughts, Stephanie, on that?
As long as they don't touch the rest of the carousel.
Oh, they're going to touch it. They're going to touch it. Don't worry.
I want to be able to honor his legacy, but the things that he actually had a hand in, can we just say that is untouchable? Can we just go with, again, yeah, they might need to be modernized. They might need to be replaced with their more, fluid animatronics or something. Maybe they don't have parts for the old ones anymore. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, but I do think that they need to honor that legacy. And what I've seen recently is that they are saying things are plussed out, and really they just go in and change it all out. That's not a plussing. Adding Walt to the beginning would be a plussing of the attraction if they didn't change the rest of the attraction.
Yeah, there was a very blurry picture of what that would look like.
Right.
But yeah, I get it. But at the same time, Stephanie, I don't know if you know this because I'm old and you're not, but the version that exists now is not the one that Walt had his hands on, because that one was at the World's Fair, went to Disneyland for a while, then they sent it over to Disney World and they put a new song. There's, Now Is the Time was the song in there, and then they updated it again and put Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow back into it. But at the same time, they've got it set up for holidays, and it's been that way all of your life, I'm sure, or that you can remember. Although again, Now Is the Time was my childhood. Like that was, yeah. Anyway, look it up, kids. But honestly, I think if they do this one the way they did the one in Florida, I mean in Anaheim, I think that it'll be good. But I get that there's controversy over should it happen. Would Walt have wanted it? And I always say, well, there was that whole argument was did John Wayne say it was okay?
Yes, but they were actors. They were celebrities in the sense that like their likeness is used on milk cartons or I don't know, whatever your kind of merchandise you're selling. That's that kind of thing. And I don't know that Walt necessarily thought of himself that way. I think he thought of himself as more of an entrepreneurial and the big guy, the big plan. And yes, he put himself on before his wonderful world of Disney, and he talked to the families there, but I don't think he ever marketed himself, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's move on a little bit and let's talk about Talk about the sad things. Disney's controversial closures is what we're calling this. Big things. Big things closed for a lot of us, talking about like not wanting to touch things or mess things up. And we've all heard the speech that it's not a museum and time marches on and all that. And or if you're actually plussing it out, DinoLand is closing down, and everything basically except for Restaurantosaurus and the dinosaur ride are done. They're closed. They're gone. And if you want to ride dinosaur, you still can, but it's like a mile hike around the construction walls to get down to it. And so they closed, the Dinorama. They had already obviously taken out Primeval World years ago. They took out Triceratops Spin, the Fossil Fun Games, the Dinosaur Treasures gift shop. All of that stuff that was down, and then they took out the Boneyard, and you couldn't play there. My favorite moment, I think, of us talking about this was, Stephanie, I said to you, do you think, because they made an announcement, they said they're going to have a playground here, and you were like, I think it will be a dinosaur-themed Indiana Jones paleontology, keep it exactly how it was kind of a thing. But you're going to miss DinoLand, I assume, right?
I will, because of course it's been around my whole life now. Whatever you just said.
Yep.
But I do think, okay, so I will say this about Animal Kingdom. It's Animal Kingdom, and each land I feel like needs to revolve around the animals that are living there, because you're going to Africa, you're going to Asia, you're India, and Pandora, I guess even there you're around their animals, in Pandora. So if they're going to focus it around that, then that's fine. Okay. South American animals. But I put in a bid for Australia, people. Let's go. Let's do some kangaroos, some wallabies, some dingoes. Let's get those out there. But I do think that it'll be okay as long as it's not just IP driven, but it's actually revolving around the animals that live there.
Well, I've been vying for Zootopia forever, and I'm sure that Joe Rohde would not agree with me, but I felt like it should be an entire land, just like Shanghai, and you could tuck it in the back, but they were like, nah, we'll just put it in the tree. So we also lost Tough to Be a Bug, and they put in, Zootopia. And Annie, as you know, and I feel like this is your philosophy in general, is that we're better together.
No.
Yeah, no. Are there any of these things that you are sad to see go at Animal Kingdom, the Tough to Be a Bug? Because again, it's a year of closures a lot. Anything at DinoLand, or you're like, bring on new stuff?
No, I loved DinoLand, and I loved Tough to Be a Bug. I hate the Zootopia thing that took over. It's awful. I also have mixed feelings about what's going to replace all the stuff in DinoLand. I love Primeval World, and I know that closed a while ago, but knowing that everything else kind of slowly got picked away, and I love Dinosaur, and I mean, I think I still call it Countdown to Extinction. Like,
right.
I love that ride. I think it's an original, and I hate that. What is it? Indiana Jones is going to go there, right? So yep. I hate, because we got Indiana Jones rides. I've been on Indiana Jones rides. I don't even have to go to Animal Kingdom to go on an Indiana Jones ride, but there's no dinosaur ride anywhere. So I got to go to Animal Kingdom to go on dinosaur. Now, if you put Walt animatronics everywhere, why do I got to go anywhere else? The Walt animatronic is everywhere. So same thing. Indiana Jones. I don't need it. Give me a dinosaur. I'm ready.
This is why Super Nintendo World is not your favorite land. You're like, we got that. We got that in Hollywood. We don't need that here.
I don't care about that.
Yeah, I got you. Well, let me just say that when we started talking about Zootopia, and again, I do think we're all better together. No, I'm just sorry. I can't stop. The word trash was used multiple times in chat. So just know that I did see all of you people saying that. Care Bear did say now is the time is at least a Sherman Brothers number. And also, True. Buckle up. Jungle Cruise are back for a big reminder here. So let's get that very important sounder going. And Jungle Cruiser's back with another super chat and said, because he and I are popcorn plastic like buddies. So, Rob, you missed the Universal Hollywood opening a popcorn bucket store. You can buy all their buckets in one location. So like Big Pop. Which, by the way, Annie, when I came back from Disneyland, Disneyland Tokyo, I said, please call me Big Pop from now on because it fits on so many levels. I would love that to be my new name is Big Pop. But there's a shop at Disneyland in Disneyland Tokyo or Tokyo Disneyland that is all popcorn buckets, and you go in and they have like 3 flavors, and you can go in and choose any flavor for you to then beg them not to put in the bucket so that you can take the bucket out. But they have now at Universal Hollywood, and our good friend Charlie did a video of that, which we've dropped on our channel. So yeah, I've looked through it. I haven't been out to it, but Annie, I feel like Universal does a lot of good popcorn buckets though, right? So do you think this is something should come to City Walk in Orlando too, or no?
I feel like they should. They have a lot of good popcorn buckets. They really, I don't know why they got into the popcorn bucket game really late, but they started pulling out all these great ones, like the toothless one that the wings move, and just the Chucky. They had a talking Chucky popcorn bucket before Disney had a talking Mickey. Both of them are the same thing, but I'm just saying, Universal stepped it up. The biggest downside is that the popcorn buckets don't fit in the lockers at Universal, so why would you want to buy them? They don't fit in their free lockers. They fit in the lockers over Epic. They thought this through because they're like, oh, popcorn bucket sales are down because what are you going to do with it? So Epic, they've got bigger lockers, but I do think that they should have one central location, and I really think they should consider popcorn flavors. That's the thing is, who wants the basic popcorn? I mean, come on, you got to give some, like the Minions has banana popcorn. Come on, you got banana popcorn. Like throw a couple other weird flavors in there.
You're right. You're right. Be better. Thank you again, Jungle Cruiser, for that super chat, and I appreciate it. But we were talking about closures, and my daughter and I had this conversation. I think last night she literally said to me, "What are we going to do now that we quote all of these attractions that are closing? No one's going to know what we're talking about anymore when we say, like when it's like, does anybody need anything because he's going forever? Like, we quote the MuppetVision, we quote, dinosaur, hello there. Like all of these things are part of my little nuclear families every day that we do these things. And some of the most quotable ones are leaving. we're losing dinosaur, and then this year we're also losing. We lost the Muppets, and so MuppetVision is gone. Last week's episode of Park Adventures Club, we had Pete Carney, we had Allison. We were on here talking about like these lost experiences. Go back and watch it. It was a lot of fun to talk about, and also good therapy. And we also cried a lot as the things that we always thought, hey, we'll do that someday, and then they're gone, and we don't get to do them. And that is this for this generation of you won't get to do Muppets, you won't get to do Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith, and you won't get to do Dinosaur. Like these are all things that are gone now. So I mean, I don't know, what's the thing that has happened in your lifetime, Annie, and I don't think this thing exists for you, maybe it does, but in your lifetime, either at Universal or Disney parks domestically, that you heard about, you knew it existed, but then before you got a chance to ever do it, it was gone. All right, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you. What about you, Stephanie? You've got to have one locked and loaded.
I mean, really, it was more like Pleasure Island because I don't think I was ever old enough to really go and experience that before it closed. Well, I mean, I think it was right before I started working there or something like that. So, but yeah, that I think would have been the main thing. But I like what's there now. Like, I liked Lanuba before. I liked, the Drawn to Life. That's a wonderful show. And, I think we talked about Disney Springs on one episode too, all the great restaurants and everything. But for my kids, I would say it's got to be Splash, because my kids have gotten to experience Splash, my older ones, but my youngest one hasn't. And the only place she can do it is if we ever go to Tokyo.
But see, that's the thing. It still exists somewhere. It's not too late.
Yeah.
You can still do that. But like for some of the stuff, like I listed, like the Polynesian had the Aloha Isle, luau, never got to do it.
Oh, I did that.
I should rub that in. Thank you very much. I got to do Pleasure Island. How do you feel now?
That's true.
Annie, did you come up with yours?
Jaws and River Country.
Oh.
Wait. You never did Jaws?
We can do it in Japan. No, I never.
But you never
got to
did the
do
one in
Jaws.
Orlando?
No, and I've
How
never
do you
been to
miss
Osaka.
Jaws?
I've never done it. I never
Wow.
did it. It was.
You basically
it was,
live
was
halfway here, halfway in Japan. I'm surprised that you've never been to Osaka.
We got Universal at home, my mom says.
Yeah. That makes sense. But River Country, I hate to rub it in. I did both those things. So, salt in either wound. Anyway, go back and check that one out. But again, these are experiences from all these other things that closed down. But Muppets was a big deal. There was like a whole funeral basically for Muppets this year about MuppetVision closing because the one in California has been gone forever. And I don't know. It's not like you can just walk over to another park and.
Oh.
I'm working on these. But Stephanie, are you sad for this for your kids that it's gone? Or what? Patrick Hackett told me last week Muppets are not for children.
Yes, they are. What is he talking about? They are for everybody because the double entendres and the things that they say that kids will not get, but they'll just see a funny frog and a pig and they'll just laugh at that. No, I took my my 2-year-old, I guess, but right before it closed, and she loved it, and we all cried. We're like, why are you taking this away from us? I still say they could put it back if they wanted to.
Yeah, I know. You've already put the Magic Eye Theater as the
Yes.
place where you'd like to see that happen over at EPCOT.
Yes.
Annie, MuppetVision has closed. And this was really a year of, okay, we opened up Geo 82 and we opened up Beacon Barrel, which we'll talk about in a second. We opened up a couple bars, we opened up a couple shows, but we lost the Animation Courtyard, love it or not. It's going to come back, but they took down the archway. The Rock and Roller Coaster is going to close down for the Aerosmith pre-show is already gone. The MuppetVision closed. We lost the Tom Sawyer Island and the Riverboat, which again, you'll be able to do those in Japan, or you'll be able to do them in California for now. But is there one of those things that you think was a mistake to do? Or, again, these are a lot of announcements this year for closures that actually happened.
I worked at MGM Studios.
Oh,
I worked at Hollywood Studios. Yeah, I worked in 2004 at MGM Studios. I worked in 2014 at Hollywood Studios. I am deeply offended by all the garbage that's going on over there right now. They're turning it into Epcot where it's just construction and crap. And I used to spend a lot of time hiding out in Animation Courtyard when I didn't really want to work. I'm very upset. But I also remember when Animation Courtyard was about animation, and you could watch the animators because I'm old, and that's what I wanted to do was work there. You're gonna put some. Muppets. You could have just put Muppet Christmas Carol 3D in there, just update it. Everyone loves Muppet Christmas Carol. I don't know.
No, you're right. It's the same thing we said about the Great Movie Ride. On the eve of you buying Star Wars and Marvel and all of these huge franchises, you go, hey, we've got a ride that's all about the movies. Let's just shut it down. So they really could have updated and upgraded the Great Movie Ride and made it more current, more now, more interesting for everybody. I liked it the way it was. I liked that there were classic movies in there. I think a lot of people did. I think you could have taken the Animation Courtyard and put, just like they plussed out Toontown by adding Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, put it over there, would have been fine. And then I was like, well, okay, let's take the Animation Courtyard and put MuppetVision in there. Monstropolis in there. Nope, that's going where MuppetVision was. So, I like what they're doing and what's coming with this Animation Courtyard, and they made the announcement this year and closed it this year. It's going to open up next summer, but I feel like it's a lot of real estate, and they're still not going to be doing enough with it. That's just my 2 cents. Anything else on closures, Stephanie, before we move on?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about the riverboat and the Rivers of America, because the Radiator Springs Racers over at DCA, awesome, right? It's a combination ride. It's not just an outside fast ride, but it's a dark ride inside. So you get to see the characters and you get to, have the story and everything. I don't know that that is what this is going to be whenever this opens up. I don't know that we're going to have the inside portion and the outside. And I don't really know how people are going to, because you can go and ride ATVs in real life. So why are we doing that? I mean, I know people say, okay, well, you can go to all the different countries in real life, but yeah, but you can't walk from Germany into, France, and Italy and stuff like that. That's fun, So anyway, that's kind of my point, is that, they're taking something that was original to the park, original to the vision that Walt had. And again, they're not plussing it out. They're completely changing it. And I don't know how that's going to really translate, but we'll see.
Yeah. Agree. So there were some things added. Let's give Disney credit for doing some things. And when I say added, it was things that were closed that they opened up again. I don't know if you can really count that as being added or not. They finally came back after a decade and a half and did a parade at night at Disney
True.
World. So that is new, but also it was a thing that used to exist. And then now it's back. So that's the Starlight Parade. Starlight Dream the Night Away, because everything has to have a long name. That opened up, and then again the Geo 82 Club bar, 21 and over only bar at Epcot opened up, and then they did the Zootopia show. Which again, as we've heard from the chat, they're not huge fans. It really feels like a clip show promoting Zootopia 2, but that's fine, I guess. And then you had the Beacon Barrel, and so the Beacon Barrel is one that I know people have been excited about, but it's a bar in the Magic Kingdom. Do you have any problem with that, Stephanie? Like that there's a bar in the Magic Kingdom?
Yes, I didn't even want, okay, you're going to say this is a hot take or whatever. I didn't even want alcohol being served at Be Our Guest. I get this France and wine and everything, but I thought that was so nice that you can have this time with your family. You don't have to worry about the people overindulging and having fights out on the outside in front of Peter Pan. That happens. So, but I will say the Beacon Barrel is a fun atmosphere. I do enjoy it. I just wish they had more food offerings, but they're very tight on their, you can only have, I think it's 45 minutes and then you got to be out of there. So 2 drink maximum.
Yep. And Annie, any of that stuff that you're excited about that Disney added, or is it just that you're excited that they added the Eras costumes for Taylor Swift to your beloved Hollywood studios? Is that the thing that was the big win for you?
If I see that in my feed one more time, I'm gonna scream. I was like, I could not. Every time I open any social media, it was like, oh, Taylor Swift era at Hollywood Studios. It's like I can't escape this. So I'm very well aware. Yeah, my beloved Hollywood Studios, my MGM Studios, actually.
Sure.
They better not touch sci-fi. I don't care.
Right.
Taylor Swift. Just leave my sci-fi alone.
Yeah, well, nothing is untouchable, as we've learned, but yeah, that's the thing. So the other thing they've added is they added 2 shows that opened up, and they opened up when? The day that Epic opened up. They opened up 2 shows at Hollywood Studios. One was The Little Mermaid, which again, it was already a show. And then they went away forever. And then we're like, thank you for bringing back the thing that was there before. And now we have it again, even though it's on the outskirts of what was like, you could see tumbleweeds rolling through the animation courtyard. But that opened up. And then also the villain show opened up where Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy had been. So, they just replaced shows that were there. I don't think that they throw a ticker tape parade, Stephanie, when like a Broadway show opens up where another Broadway show, like it's still. I mean, that may be a bad analogy, but I mean, were the new shows exciting to you? You've seen them both, I assume.
Yeah. Meh. Before. Yeah, I honestly preferred the original Little Mermaid with all the laser lights through the crowd. That was cool. Uh, yeah,
Back
the
when I
villains.
was
I
younger,
think it,
lasers were all the rage, not these bubbles with
lasers.
smoke in them.
Yes,
Oh,
the villains. I feel like is just trying to get you hyped up for Villains Land, basically. Like, hey, remember, guys, we are going to compete with Dartmoor over at Epic. You know, we are going to have this, but just wait 3 years from now.
So you're saying it's kind of like the launch bay, villains launch bay is what it is.
Yes. Yeah, Villains Land.
Okay, I get it. That's fine. Let's talk global now. Disneyland Paris has announced that that Disney Adventure World, best name that is ever named of a park. Like, I literally didn't blink an eye when Epic was named. I was like, that's a great thing. That's great. Epic Universe, love that. Disney Adventure World, the name of the Walt Disney Studios theme park, that's the new name for it, opens up next year. They made the announcement that the Frozen Land will be open. So these are announcements. These things didn't happen. They started the conversion to Disney Adventure World this year, but that's happening there. And then Disney pulled out this announcement that I was not expecting at all. Like, out of left field, they announced the Abu Dhabi park. And we've talked about this on this show before, and I think a lot of people have political concerns about where it's going. And I don't think they're going to have, like, they're not going to be as bought into it as they are with, their other parks. They're just kind of more like a Tokyo, situation. They're providing the IP and the Imagineering and the designing of it. Those are the big things happening overseas. Now, again, Tokyo is a park that we all love, that resort, but they're kind of in a flex period where Fantasy Springs had already opened up. We're not to the new Space Mountain yet; that's under construction. But anything else? I know that Annie, you visit a lot of the overseas parks. Any of this stuff exciting to you, or anything else that we missed in 2025?
I'm excited for this little walking Olaf.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
it.
I feel like we've made the announcements of like the stuff coming next year in a lot of the parks, but I don't know. I hate the name. The adventure. What is it? Adventure.
Disney Adventure World rolls right off the tongue.
I hate
Disney
it.
Adventure World. You don't get hung up at all that there's a Disney World.
Islands of Adventure World. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I
don't know.
just hate the
Stephanie,
name. I hate the name.
right. And Stephanie, anything from you on that? On the overseas?
I agree with Annie 100% because of what Patrick said the other episode where Adventure Bay is where the Paw Patrol is.
Oh.
That is true. We did an episode. The last one was about lost experiences. The one before it, we talked about 2026 because they had made all these announcements about 2026 about everywhere, and we were talking about what Disney Adventure World is going to look like, and the new World of Frozen's kind of like the end of that. Like the Cars attraction, I think, was kind of the beginning of the transformation, and I think that the Frozen opening up in March of next year is kind of the end or the finale of now it's officially Disney Adventure World. But they're going to do a nighttime show on Adventure Bay. He was like, wait a minute, Adventure Bay? And both of them laughed. And I had no idea what they were talking about. And apparently Paw Patrol, they are in Adventure Bay. So, Annie, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Thank you.
I'm not up on my Paw Patrol lore.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a problem. Yeah. So anyway, the other thing, the last thing I want to talk about here is that there were other announcements that happened in other parks. Because again, Park Adventures Club, we like to talk about all the parks. I know that when Annie and I did a show about Halloween Horror Nights with Charlie, he wanted to talk about Knott's Berry Farm. And so Knott's Scary Farm is apparently, in his opinion, did a better job this year than HHN in California, so we talk about these other things. Dollywood has a new attraction that they announced for next year. Again, the attraction has been under construction. They've been keeping it secret, but they finally in 2025 announced this new attraction coming called Night Flight Expedition, which I think we all think, Annie, is kind of like the blueprint for what may be coming to Epic, right? For Creature from the Black Lagoon. Is that what we're thinking? Maybe?
I I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's a possibility. I don't know how far we are into that with Epic.
Yeah. Well,
Charlie said it was, but Charlie said it was like the ride at SeaWorld, and I have
Atlantis.
not been back to find that out. So
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an announcement. And then Nate Bargatze, who everybody saw this coming, right? The comedian Nate Bargatze is like, you know what I want to do? I want to open up a theme park. So, but he made that announcement at IAPA that he's going to do, on November 18th, he announced he's going to do a Nashville theme park. And again, I grew up at a time when there already was one. It was called Opryland, and he apparently worked there at some point in his career. So I mean, from a regional park standpoint, these are pretty exciting announcements to me. But that's, again, these are just announcements that happened this year. These are not things that are happening in 2026, but announcements that were made. I mean, in 2025. So the announcements were made. The Dollywood attraction opens in 2026. I can't wait to go see that. I love me some Dollywood, and I think they need more sort of family style attractions. Yes. And then the Nateland is supposed to be all about kind of family style stuff. It's going to be called Nateland. You're laughing, Stephanie. Do you think that he's not of the Dolly rank where he gets a park named after him?
No, he's not the rank of Dolly Parton. Come on now. The woman is a legend, an iconic legend. But as long as he's calling it a theme park, and I go back to this, it's just not an amusement park, but an actual theme park. So what is the theme going to be? Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, it could be themed around all of his comedy. There could be a different...
It could be.
No, he's in... What did you say?
Different portals to the different, it's different comedies.
This is the portal to the Your Mama jokes. This is the portal. No, but he's working with a company called Storyland, who had actually kind of concepted something using Aesop's Fables as a blueprint, because that's like public domain. They can do whatever they want to with that kind of stuff. So let me just ask you guys, and this is where I will end this conversation. Is there anything we've missed in general? Actually, let me back up a second, because I did want to mention that our Park Adventures Club is our Patreon. Also, we call it the Pack. Thank you guys so much for being members of the Pack. And for those of you who are Pack members, we're going to have a quick post show after this. Something we haven't done before, but something we're doing for you guys because you guys have been there for us. We want to do a quick post show after this for you. But in the Pack, I always have a question of the day, and I asked the question about, for 2025, what are the big things that happen? And it was very sweet that a couple people said that the Pack started. So that was a nice thing. I like seeing that. It is great to be able to bring all of our friends in and have these conversations here. But Jay Ware said that the biggest story is that they're spending money at Walt Disney World again. After years of neglect. And then he said, and the beautiful Epic Universe opened up on time, which again, that was the thing that happened. Mike's Adventure said, Epic Universe opening, huge leap forward for Universal. I feel like their best is yet to come. Jake said, we met Captain Cacao.
Jake.
The captain. But Real Life Evie said, I feel like we can't sleep on the historical opening of an actual bar or lounge at the Magic Kingdom with the Beacon Barrel. The alcohol service inside of Magic Kingdom was a big deal, but taking that a step further with a themed bar attempting showmosphere is akin to Trader Sam's, which is a great point. Like, you could have done this bar outside of the Magic Kingdom. Like, it didn't have to be in the Magic Kingdom. It could have been in one of the hotels, one of the resorts, off grounds, whatever. But I mean, again, new shows, the new parade, and the new bars were kind of the story for Disney in 2025. And meanwhile, down the street, they opened up a brand new theme park. And, so, I mean, it does feel like that, Disney is investing. It is coming. We do know that. We know that 2027 is going to be the Tropical Americas. We know that Monstropolis is coming. We know that we're going to get a Villains Land, and that Piston Peak is just around the river bend. All of these things are in there. But the problem is they told us about all these great things in 2024, and they spent 2025 telling us all the stuff they were shutting down to do it, and then they shut them down. So I guess my question to you, first of all, Annie, did we miss anything about 2025 that you want to talk about? No.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Stephanie, did we miss anything?
Comprehensive
All right.
list.
So here's the assignment then is before we get to the end of this, I just said that 2 episodes ago, Patrick and Stephanie did a letter grade for 2026 and where they think that the Disney parks are going. I want to ask you guys for Universal and for Disney, 2 separate grades. How would you grade 2025? I can't wait for this one. And that's just think about it. Tell me if you give a letter grade. And again, no unicorns. It's got to be an A through F. So think about the letter grade you want to give it. I do want to give a big shout out and a thank you to, like I said, our Park Adventurers Club. Thank you guys so much. Go Pack. Our Patreon is patreon.com/Go Pack. And we have all of these folks to thank for supporting us this year, from the Zebra Mezzanine and the Treasure Room supporters. Thank you guys, and anyone who has contributed, who has watched, who has commented, who has liked, who has reached out. Thank you guys so much for all of your support for the pack this year. And I want to let Annie plug her deal in a second too. So Annie, you do your own thing. You do a lot of great content over on Adventuring with Annie. Tell the folks what they need to know.
I make Universal content and Tokyo Disney content. We should all plan a trip to Tokyo Disney together. Wouldn't that be great? I think that's what we should do next year. We're going to work on that. Hong Kong Disney's coming up. Maybe I'll mix up some Walt Disney World in there too. But yeah, I'm getting everywhere. Hitting them all.
Check her stuff out as Adventuring with Annie.
Adventuring with Annie. You know what? I needed to start a channel and I couldn't come up with a name, and that's what it was.
You nailed it.
I like it.
I'm the one having troubles over here. It's fine. The hat's too tight. No worries. I did want to give a kind of a plug to. We've got some other content coming up on our channel over the break. And I say the break it's the holidays, and we're very excited that everybody gets a chance to spend time with family and friends. And I hope you guys get a chance to do that and kind of unwind and even take a break maybe from theme park news. Who knows? Like maybe that's the thing you want to do. But if you guys are still looking for some adventure, number one, we have a lot of Christmas content. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Womp womp. There we go. We have a lot of Christmas content, and I've actually rolled it all up under christmas.parkadventuresclub.com. So if you go to christmas.parkadventuresclub.com, you'll see all of the reviews we've done. Excuse me, the park shows we've done about it, a lot of stuff there. But also, I want to shout out Stephanie's show, Castaways. She did a show the last week that made me want to cry. Santa Claus actually came on her show, and she talked to and interviewed Santa Claus. That is still up on our channel, and I'll let her talk about that in a second. And then This Is Where You Are Tonight, the Park Adventures Club. Next Wednesday night is a look on the plus side. Again, this is something that Stephanie and I have recorded to drop on Christmas Eve. If you want to, share in that, it's a great kind of a lineup for Christmas Eve, the small one. Then we're taking a little bit of a holiday break, a very short one, and then coming back with another Park Adventures Club on Sunday the 4th, and then on Wednesday the 7th, we're doing a look on the plus side. We're going to redo, Snow White's, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original, which we did in a previous location, but now we're going to do the pack version. So join us for that one. But Stephanie, talk a little bit about Talking with Santa. That was pretty freaking awesome.
I mean, I can't believe I was so lucky to be able to have him on the show. The real deal, folks, works, all over the world as Santa does, but particularly in Disney and Universal. And he spoke about that. He spoke about, bringing magic to kids all around the world and some of his experiences doing that. It was amazing and magical, and please check it out. Oh. Muted.
You're muted.
Rob.
You're muted. Well,
how long have I been muted?
3 sentences. I'm not sure. the whole
I don't
time.
know why I'm over here signaling like I'm muted. Like, I don't know why I just didn't say it out loud.
So
Let's do it like
after, wait a minute, let me just make sure. After I pitched it to Stephanie about the show?
Yes.
Okay.
After you came back.
Then what I was saying was, I'm sorry for coughing so much. Hit the mute button. Usually I have 82 drinks around me. That's what I'm doing with this. But I did want to say, please, again, for the holiday break, enjoy the time with your families. And but if you're bored, come spend some time with the Park Adventures Club. We have a lot of great content on our channel. But now, the question to you, starting with Stephanie: letter grades for Disney parks and for Universal separately for 2025.
So for Disney Park, I mean, in particular, Disney World, I would give probably a C minus for 25, maybe even a D plus. I mean, I'm so glad they have a nighttime parade. I'm all about the entertainment. But for Universal, I'm going to go with a strong A minus, and really that's only because they need a fireworks show at Epic.
Wow. Okay. I mean, again, like we know they can do fireworks. They did them for their opening over at Epic, but yeah, no, that's a good point. Annie, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, I thought I was being harsh saying C for Disney, and then you were like C minus D. I was like, okay, cool. So I feel a little prouder of saying C. Disney took away a lot of stuff. That's the thing is, I don't care what I'm gonna get. I care that you took away stuff right now because now I don't have anything. So right now I'm gonna go with a C. Maybe I will go with a C minus. We're gonna throw minuses in. And for Universal, I think I got to go with an A because they opened a damn new park. Whereas, they didn't get rid of stuff to open all these, portals. They opened a new park, which is what Disney could totally do. And instead of getting rid of Dinosaur and Muppets and all that, you could have just had another park that had your monsters and your whatever,
Piston Peak.
Yeah.
Oh,
Piston
yeah.
Peak.
See? Yeah, exactly. Just Pixar Park. Just get monsters and Pixar, then the cars and the pistons and the whatever the hell else you got. I don't know. Yeah,
Here in Florida, we enjoy the blessing of size. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, and honestly, for me, I would give Disney probably a B minus because I don't think they did anything wrong. No, you know what? I take that back. They get a C minus because they did do something wrong. They took away things. I was just going to say on what they did, but yeah, I mean, because again, I feel like there were better places. Even if you wanted to pave Paradise, there were other places you could have gone other than where you did. So I would say, like, I feel like I give Disney a C minus, and again, folks, give us heck in the chat if you disagree with this kind of stuff. We would love to hear, in your comments. Leave comments. We love comments. We respond to comments. Leave comments, and tell us what you think about 2025. And then I would give Universal an A, easy, because not only did they come up with something great, but they also are focused on the future. There's so many things that they're going to do at Epic. New restaurants are in queue already for Celestial. We already see plots of land where like Potter and Monsters and all these can be expanded. It's going to happen, and without sacrificing, to your point, Annie, existing things. So, but in the past, I would have been upset with Universal because they got rid of things that I loved. Back to the Future, the Ghostbusters show. The confrontation. Like, there are a lot of things that they used to have that I loved that they just got rid of because they didn't have the space. Now they've made up for that. They've made changes and they've got space. But we'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And again, if you're our PAC member, thank you guys so much. We're going to have a quick post show after this. I'm sorry for running a little bit late here, but we had a lot to cover with 2025. Come back for our Wednesday night show of the small one, and also have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Just enjoy the holidays, however you do, with your family and friends. And of course, it's been great spending this time with my friends here. Thank you guys for being on the show and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. We will see you guys. If we don't see you again before then, we will see you guys in 2026. Have a great one.
Bye.